Houston, our instruments are showing that we have a incoming message from deep space. Repeat, Houston, we have an incoming message from deep space. Houston, we'll begin playing message now. Houston, we're going to try and translate that up here. Hold for translation. Translation complete. We'll begin playing message now.
Hey, it's me, Melissa.
What do you do when the aliens invade? Take a shot of MKUltra and watch Melissa Jade. Put on your tinfoil hat and tune right in. We got that crime spree, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, a complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Aliens is on the sun or in Area 51. Time travels, unravels, haunted castles, cops are baffled, potential experimental thoughts that make you transcendental. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Crime sprees, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa.
Hello, everybody. Happy Members Only Monday. Hello, Debbie Doodle, Stacy Bo Basie. We have Abalis, Tony Roro, Michelle Petunia, Harlot People. Me, we have Chloe Jade, Claudia. We have Megan, Forgets and Shiggles, Simply Complex, Becky, Debbie Doodles, Little Red O, Christina J, Nancy Grape, Sarah Bellum, Megsy. Hi, Megsy. Homer Green, lovely seeing you again. Michelle, Aries Girl, Chezzy, Crime Crochet Coif A, J. M's, Jenny B, Victoria Lee, and everybody else. Hi. How are you guys? Happy Members Only Monday, and hello to anybody who's watching Beyond the Wall. I got Game of Thrones in my head, but Beyond the Wall, if you're watching and just cannot chat, thank you so much for being here. We're happy to have you as well. Yeah, Little Red, a little by little, like it's still lingering, but better. Ooh, what you making for dinner? Hi, K-Love. So before we start, I wanted to let you guys know, if you ever have a concern or a complaint, feel free to reach out to me. My email is in my about section, or you could ask. Somebody had reported one of my gruesing interviews for not having closed captions enabled, yet I do have closed captions enabled. Closed captions are enabled on all of my videos, and I also keep closed caption on my lives as I'm playing it. So there's actually double closed captions available. Sometimes there's glitches and they aren't available. That happened to me not that long ago. If you guys remember, it was like a few lives ago where I couldn't get closed captions up. But you could always reach out and communicate. You don't have to actually go and report it. Sometimes it's out of our control. But I have it available on every single video. So I've done everything I can in my like under my control. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. Like I literally got an email from YouTube that someone reported and made the complaint, and I have to go in and try to enable closed caption, which I like I said, I have closed captions enabled on all of my videos. I understand some people may be hard of hearing, and that's why I always have closed captions up even when I'm playing a video. So, you know, but it doesn't matter. The point is that if there's an issue or there's a complaint, you're free to reach out to me and let me know. Like, I won't be offended. Constructive criticism is always welcomed. So if I can make your viewing experience better, please don't hesitate to let me know. But I have them available on all videos just for future reference. Hi, Ange. Okay. So with that being said, our missing child for tonight's live, before we get started, Elena. I just emailed you right before I went live, Elena. Hi. We've missed you. Hi. Well, you know, like, I'm not gonna jump and think that it was like, maybe the person is just very hard of hearing, and maybe there was a glitch and then closed captions didn't come up. It's not a big deal. All I'm saying is that you can reach out and talk to me first if there's something I can do. And I'll always try to do that. I'll try, Debbie Doodles, if it's in my control. Hi, Pink Puma. But our missing child for tonight's live is Emily Yvette Varela. I've pulled her up before, but I just wanted to circle back around and put her face back out there. Emily has been missing since October 16th, 2023 out of Santan Valley, Arizona. She is 17 years old. She was last seen October 16th, 2023. So if you or anyone you know has any information on her whereabouts, please contact the Pinal County Sheriff's Office at the number located in blue. But okay. Kathy 4, I didn't even know that you could report for that, but there actually is laws where if you're in the certain criteria, you have to have closed captions as an option, which I'm not against that, you know, but closed captions are enabled on all of my videos. There's nothing more I could do. I'll check him. I have not opened my emails in about a week and a half. And so I just opened them right before I came live, and I started with my oldest. And so I still haven't got through them, and I will check them. Hey, T. Adams, I will finish checking them after the live. No, it's okay, Lil Red. So yesterday we started Leticia's interview from January 29th. This was 2 days after the murder had occurred. Now, at this, Elena, my goodness, Elena, thank you so much. That's so very kind of you. Elena just gifted 20 memberships. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all of our new members. Please thank Elena if you just got gifted a membership. It's the Green Goddess. I know. Thank you, Elena. And congratulations for anybody who just got busted out. Hey, Michelle. So we went through the gruesing. Oh my God, remember a flush. We haven't had a flush in a long time. I don't even know if I still have a flush. I don't think I have a flush in. Wait. I had a flush. I haven't used that in so long, but Elena just flushed you all down the pipes. Wow, it's been so long. It's been since the jail files since we did a flush. But we went through, welcome, Chafest Grandma. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We're so happy to have you here for Members Only Monday. So we went through the gruesing interview, and it's so interesting because what I will say, observing her body language compared to this interview, and let me know if I'm mistaken, but does it not seem like she was much more closed off in the gruesing interview, which, yes, granted, she was arrested and charged that day. But I think I don't know why I think I would expect someone to be more nervous during this interview, because this would have been in the midst, like right 2 days after it happened, as she was still actively in the act. Does that make sense? And so her very first interactions with officers, I would expect to see that closed off chemistry. Yet we aren't seeing that, which really kind of makes me believe that she thoroughly thought she could control this. They did, Emily. Everyone asked for Elena. We've all missed you so much. Yeah, Grusing broke her, and we were saying that while we were watching the Grusing interview, because he was perfect to go up against Leticia. His personality, the way he communicated, the way that the first half of the interview, he allowed Leticia to take control, meaning directing where the conversation went, what the topic was. But that second half, he went in for, I don't want to say the kill. He went in and took that bite, and it just worked very well. I do not think that they would have been as successful if it was a female, because even look at Bethel during this interview that we're going through. She vibes differently. As most women, are different around women than they are men, but she thought she could control Grusing, in my opinion. What? I don't think I knew that, K-Love. She whispered to Grusing to run away with her. Yeah, he So we're doing part 2 of this interview. A couple of things I wanted to clear up before we move forward. Yesterday I said this was before they ever went into the house, and I think I may have been wrong about that, so I'm going to pull up, if I could find it. Here it is. I think Al may have already contacted them, Bethel, and said, listen, because, okay, this was Wednesday. It was Tuesday, Al even returned home, and they did the Starbucks interview. And so I didn't think that was enough time for him to reach out already and say, hey, listen, she said the car was parked at the school, but it wasn't parked at the school. But someone in the comments said that it was. So I want to go back real quick and try to see what the date was, because they may have already been in the house. And that's why Leticia turns to Grusing. And I'm sorry, that's why Leticia turns to Bethel and says, like, well, you were there. And Bethel was like, no, I wasn't there. Elena, thank you so much. It's too kind, very generous. Thank you so much, though. And congratulations. Elena just gifted 20 more memberships. Welcome. It is so generous, Chloe Jade. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Please thank Elena if you just got a membership. Yeah, the car was not at French Elementary, and Albert called law enforcement. Okay, Julie, because I don't want to ever give you guys the wrong information, and so I apologize. So I'm going to pull this up right now, and I'm going to tell you guys specifically. So it would be Allie. Okay. No, that's the jail file. Okay. So the date would be a green wave. Thanks, Elena. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. And I'm pulling it up right now for us. Yes, Emily. Yes. So I could do a keyword search. What is it? Control F. And then I'm going to pull this up for us. Where we stopped yesterday, just for context, where we stopped yesterday, Bethel had just left the room because she had to go attend to something, but Leticia just gets to the part where her and Gannon return home from the multiple Petco visits and driving around, and then there was someone in her house. That is where we last left off, and I paused it. Police station, the detective went out of the room, and you could hear Al say, God, please don't let this be true. Oh my goodness. It's heartbreaking. Okay, so I'm keyword, and I'm going to search school. I'm searching school. Okay. Because I know school is in that document. Okay.
His flight landed at 8:50, but I didn't. I just drove down the street, came back.
And that was in your black car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So which ones were you wearing?
Mine.
Okay, which color are those? Okay.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
I did like this.
Sorry.
Trunk, he went through everything.
Like he actually got into the car?
You know, like we're scanning, da da da. Like I was gonna say to me, you gave some strange. Trying to explain to him all that was going on upstairs because I
send something and then you get back around to something.
I feel like it was
Okay. Perfect. Sorry, it jumped me out of my place. So Jesus. All right, I'll look for that as we continue to play because my thing keeps booting me out. So all right, so this is the part, and I know it's black. Give it a second. This is the part where Bethel leaves. She's gonna be coming back though, and Leticia just explains that they're going to multiple, they were going to Petco, they were going here, they stopped at Starbucks, but she didn't want to give Bethel her physical phone to see where she was driving to, because you have to keep in mind what she was doing right before this interview, before she arrived, and the day before. And she definitely didn't want Bethel to see that, and that would have been traced in that app that they were pulling up. Okay.
It was like 2:35, 2:25, 2 something.
Okay.
Because I knew I had to be back in time to do a couple things, and then I knew Lane would be coming there. I knew Harley would be getting off work. Yada yada yada. So that was my whole thing.
Yada yada.
So going on from there, Gannon goes inside. I think first. I don't want to misquote myself, but I'm pretty sure he ran in first, and I had the bag for Petco and all that stuff in my hand. Now I don't.
Which door did you guys use?
We always go in through the garage if we typically like park like on the front part of the yard or things like that.
Sure.
So we go in through the garage.
Okay.
He goes in through the garage. I go in. I'm getting ready to put up the thing.
Now, what's different is that with Gruesing, we watched her cross her legs, cross her arms, hunch forward, cradled her stomach. She was in the self-soothing positions And she eventually turned her body facing the wall by the end of that interview. Yes, I can, Chris. By the end of that interview, this interview, she seems to be, and you know, at least when Bethel was also in the room, she's talking back and forth to both of them. She seems to be kind of like alternating the flowing current of conversation steadily, and she does face directly. And so this is what I mean. She seems to be more comfortable in this interview than she does with the gruesing one.
And stuff like that. And this is where it got. I made a mistake. This is it.
Okay. So,
as we got inside, I heard something, but I didn't think anything about it because I thought, you know, maybe Gannon was like doing something, maybe we were like doing whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy was in there, and I gave him the code.
The guy from the.
Yeah, it's all my fault because I gave him our code to fix the carpet.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have.
Okay.
And he.
She's crying, yet there are no tears. No tears whatsoever. She had no problem giving a stranger the garage code to her house, yet she would not give Bethel the code to her phone. Interesting, right? Well, and Nancy Grape, this is where I struggle because I think Leticia had intentions on doing something when she went for that 4-hour errand run, whatever you want to call it. And I don't think she knew what she was going to do. And I think she intentionally may have left his phone there. Now, whether things did not go as planned, she eventually went back and got it. But I don't think she even knew what her plan was, which I do struggle with the premeditation. But when I saw, do not forget about those emails I read out to you guys the days before the murder from Leticia to Al, that screams premeditation. So I struggle and I bounce back and forth with my theory.
He was inside. I noticed when I had like walked in and saw our we have like a little bookshelf thingy. I keep my shades in there too, but we also have like our guns and stuff. I saw it was open, but in my mind I thought maybe I left my shades or whatever.
Your like sunglasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't think anything of it when I heard the noise, and I just started walking downstairs. But I didn't walk downstairs with like a gun or anything like that. So I started walking downstairs, and then when I walked downstairs, I hear something again. Well, at that point in time, Gannon was on the sofa, and I saw him, and I heard something again, and I walked on around to where so Gannon's room is here,
Okay.
and then there's a storage closet here.
Okay.
And I heard something, and so I walked to the storage closet to open the storage closet.
It was
when I did-
Alina.
And he was standing in there, and he had on gloves.
In the storage closet?
Yes.
Okay.
He had one of the guns.
Okay.
And I was too.
Now, what I want you guys to also pay attention to, yesterday, she incriminated herself by already addressing that there would be blood on that wall. Okay. And I know, and I'm sorry, like to have to go back to this. But she does it again just right here with the storage room. The storage room is extremely significant in this case, and she knows how the storage room comes into play. So already she is accounting for anything they may find in that storage room and is including it in this story.
Okay.
So terrified. And then he just knocked me down and like towards Gannon's room. And he was hitting on me. It was like hard, like on the ground. And he was trying to like rape me. And I told her. And I said, I have to tell you about this.
Okay.
And
Not a tear. And I have it in 1080. Quality, guys, not a single tear. Darlene, what is so haunting is at this point he would be on the side of the road where the particle for that piece of wood was found, and she washed the car right before she arrived. That is why she was late coming to this interview. And that's what's so haunting. Even, we may joke about the Hot Pocket, but it is haunting because she has been doing this nonstop for 2 days, and she's capable of sitting there and eating a damn Hot Pocket and drinking that Coke when her hands have not even been cleaned. You know what I mean? Same thing with not showering. Like, she is still in the same sweat. It's gross. But not a single tear. Not a single tear.
I from there on was like in a blur because I was trying so hard because Gannon had a table in his room and I went back and hit my head on it. Like with him, Gannon runs inside the room and like tries to be helpful, do something, whatever. And from there, it was kind of like a blur. Everything else that was going on because I was just like crying and I was freaking out. And I swear to God, I don't know what happened from there. I really don't know what had happened from there. I don't.
Okay.
Now, this was huge because this is when everything changed. Hey, MK, this was the start of everything falling. Well, trust me, everything was already falling apart, but at least they did not know what happened. Gannon never returned, but then they get a call from Al saying, listen, something's not sitting right with me. I guess after the Starbucks interview, this is what she told Al. She said the car was parked at the school, and he had this nagging feeling that made him take the drive. And he saw it was not there. It was not parked there. And that's when he contacted Bethel. And that's what started this process. But it was Leticia now putting forward this very first version of events. Well, second version, aside from Gannon not returning, that involves crimes. I do believe that too, Bushi. Exactly. Lee the Bee says, if you watch the interview of Landon and her brother sitting on that same couch, it's like night and day. Landon did not want to eat. She just wanted to find her boy. Exactly. Night and day. But it's, story number 2, Elena. But again, I'm still, this is what is so disturbing, is that even being the killer, that I'm sure was stressful for Leticia, and I have no sympathy for her, but the adrenaline is rushing, the anxiety, the stress that, oh my God, what am I going to do, right? Or even feeling nauseous and, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? Yet she doesn't. She's still very capable of eating and drinking and acting like everything is normal.
I don't. And I'm just like, in the moment thinking, I had like these memories of like, wow, like the thing was open, he had the gun, and I didn't remember what happened from there. And so I kind of like blacked out just a little bit. And so all these things are going into my mind as I'm blacked out. I don't know if I know he was like, when Gannon was like trying to get on him, I know he was like moving Gannon and, and it was just all like, so like a cycle to me. And so I'm like out of it for a little bit, just for a little bit. And then from when the time I woke up, I say woke up, but like I kind of blacked out a little bit.
Yes,
and I immediately like freaked out. I was like, I couldn't find Gannon. I was like, the guy was still in the house. Lena was.
So all the time, Homer says, so now the house is considered a crime scene, right? Yes. This moment forward, it is considered a crime scene because Leticia is admitting that a crime occurred in the house. Yet we listen to her on the calls that we currently listen to, and the pretext calls and the gruesing interview. You allowed those people in a supposed crime scene, for days. Yeah, because they had no idea it was a crime scene until this moment, even though this crime wasn't true, but it took this for them to even know a crime had occurred. Hey, Shar. And yeah, you're right, Megsy. Chris Watts sat there and ate pizza and a Mountain Dew. You're right. You are right.
On the way. I didn't know where Gannon was at because I was calling for Gannon. I thought he was hiding. Like, I legit thought he was hiding in, like, maybe the other closet that was on the other side, the other, whatever. I thought he was hiding. Like, I was so scared. So I run up the stairs because I hear that, I know it's like almost time for Lena, and I hear that the Ring app had, like, an alert for someone at the front door. But it could have been just, like Amazon or something driving by because there was nobody at the front door. And then I run back downstairs because in my mind I was like thinking, where's Gannon? And I didn't want to leave and like run outside and scream and go crazy because I did not know where he was at the time. And everybody says to me, like, because I told Albert and them about it, and they're like, why didn't you like run to go get help? And I didn't want to leave to go get help, and I was terrified because I know Albert would kill me because Gannon was still in there. Mm-hmm. So then when I get downstairs, he has the gun, and he has Gannon, and I'm sitting there like freaking out, like, okay, what do you want me to do? Blah blah blah. So Lena does make it to the door at this time, and then so I go upstairs because I know that he was like, don't say anything, because I didn't know if someone thought like he was a cop or if someone heard something, or I didn't know anything. So my thought process was, if I say anything, Gannon's down here, I need to just be as cool as possible because we order things at Amazon like all the time, books and things like that. Mm-hmm. So it was Lena.
Not a tear. I know, I honestly hit her too, Bushi. Not a tear. But to constantly bring up the Amazon, like that has anything to do with it. Okay. She brought her notes, which are sitting behind her. You could see them. Yet she doesn't bother even glancing at them to save herself, right? She thinks she's in control. But the difference is with gruesing, how often, right? Her legs were crossed at all times. Her arms were crossed. They aren't here. She is much more confident here. She really thought she could talk her way out of this. It's horrible, Homer. Horrible and horrific.
So the reason I sent Lena away was because I wanted her to be safe too. So I sent Lena on a mission to go get like the mail. Lena, it never gets the mail. No, nothing like that. I sent her on a mission to go get the mail.
Okay.
Mission?
And so I just started making up random things for Lena to go do. And I looked at Lena and I said, she was standing there, I was like, just stay gone for a little while. Because I didn't want her coming back and then that's, like.
Now in Lena's safe passage interview, she explained that she did come to the door, right? She got home, got off the school bus, and Lena would have been catching Leticia moments after, you guys. It was a very small window of time. Hey, Mindy. Hey, Sherry. It was a very small window of time from when Leticia and Gannon arrived back home to when Lena got there. Very small window of time for the murder. In Lena's safe passage interview, she says when she got to the door, Leticia was sweaty, out of breath, and said that she was working out. I think that's interesting. Hey, Michelle, we miss you.
Her in a situation as we were too. So like in my mind, I think if I say anything, if I do anything, I just didn't know what to do. I was in complete panic. So I go back downstairs again, and I'm like pleading and like talking and like all these things going on.
Elena.
just back and forth with him. And why are you doing this? Why did you hurt us? Why are you doing these things? Mm-hmm. And then it just started being like a hustle and puzzle, like back and forth. And I don't even remember how it kept going for, like maybe I say 5 or 10 minutes, but I don't know if it was that long. And then he was like on top of me again. And then I kind of lied out again because he was hitting my head again.
Oh, really?
And then, yes, and then I was on the table that was inside.
Detective says, "Oh, really? Oh, really? Yeah, because that seems like, listen, when someone comes in and does something along this scenario that Leticia's putting forward, usually they want in and out, okay? In and out, because a crime is being occurred, and especially at the time that it was being occurred, how much activity was going on outside of that house, they wouldn't just want to chill. So when you're saying that now all of a sudden you already went up, spoke to Elena, came down, he knocked you out again? Yeah, that's a little far out there. Elena, thank you. Elena just gifted memberships once again, guys. Congratulations. Please thank Elena if you were lucky enough to receive a membership. Thank you so much. You're so generous. Right, Nancy Grape. Similar to Jodi Arias blacking out at those perfect exact moments. Oh, I have my loop on. Sorry. Hold on one second. Okay.
Like in between there's a red and blue table in there. Okay. He like forced me in there again, and he was trying to do it again, and I was just like losing my mind, like completely. Like Albert's sister was raped, and so like, in my mind I kept thinking Albert's gonna be like I'm nothing, and I shouldn't have been thinking about that. I shouldn't have been, but I was, and that was all I could keep thinking about. Like was like Albert was gonna be upset. Ganna's over here. Lena's coming. All these emotions are running through there. And then he asked me to give him a suitcase, and I gave him a brown suitcase. And then
here is where she incriminates herself again. They have no sidebar. They have no idea a suitcase is in play. This is very early on. I am so sorry to hear that, Riley. I'm so thankful you're okay. But exactly, Riley says, I was the victim of a home invasion and they held me at gunpoint. I can't imagine. Until they left, probably 5 minutes total. Exactly. Like these things occur all the time. But more likely than not, it's an in and out. They want to get out of there as fast as they can. The longer than they are there, the bigger the risk. Okay? No. Well, isn't it amazing how she's able to think about such specific things while at the same time blacking out, not able to give details? She's the worst liar, yet her body language is so opposite of what it was during the gruesome interview. And it's scary to me that, oh, wow, she was confident. She was confident even after everything she was just doing. Yeah, she covers all of her bases. There's no one quite like Leticia, and that's why I have such a fascination with her, is in a moment where, killer or not, I would imagine you being terrified right now and stressed. She's not. Not in the way you would expect her to be. Elena busted you out. I'm so happy. Oh, we're happy to have you in here, Stars Align. Yeah, right, Melissa. And if that small window of time saved Lena's life, I often wondered if she would have imagine. But listen, Leticia has so many victims of so many different things, and it's heartbreaking.
He hit me on the head again, like right here. He just kept hitting me right there like that.
Okay.
And so then he did that, and then I blacked out again. I was having a panic attack.
There wasn't shit there. Now, please remember, she was taken to the hospital. By the end of this interview, it's going to end with Leticia being taken to the hospital. While she is there, she's persuaded to get a SANE exam, which is a sexual assault exam. Now, they could not, the only thing that they were able to get a warrant for was non-intrusive specimen, I believe. And so they took photos of Leticia's hands, her head. There was nothing there. And then she ditched the hospital and had Harley and her friend pick her up at the Taco Bell court across the street. Yeah, the court couldn't do invasive. So it was only non-invasive that they were able to get, which unfortunately, but at the same time, we know that she wasn't assaulted. So, hi, Cherokee girl. No, she did not, Homer Green. When she parted her, because I'll pull up the photos for you guys of when she went, and there's nothing except little markings on her hands, which appear to be consistent with wounds from attacking. Well, she said that she tinkled herself and had to stuff tissues down her pants. You're going to see her do it. At the time when it was just the PCA, we heavily speculated she didn't want to leave any of her DNA behind. But I guess you'll have to make up your mind when we get to that part.
And then I don't know what happened from there. I really don't. I don't know. I just know that I did lie. I did. When they came, I did say, get a lift, whatever. You know that.
Okay.
But he never did. He never left to go play. I just didn't know what to do, and I panicked in the moment. And I didn't want Albert to be like trying to hurt us because we kind of get a lot of.
Oh, you see what she just did right there. So Leticia's go-to, the same way how she mentioned Al's father was a schmapist. Al's sister was the victim of that abuse. Do not call Al Eugene because it reminds him of his father. Now she's opening that door to, I was terrified of Albert. I am the victim of domestic abuse. You see how she does that?
A fight.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just want you to know that's the only reason that I made up the lie is because I knew that I didn't want to face the consequences of, trying to explain to him all that was going on. Because he was saying to me, you're trying to make this about you. This is not about you. And I knew all those things because I've lived in it. So I panicked and I just told a story and I was going to try to think of a plan. And I'm sorry that it might have delayed, looking for Gannon. But I do not know where Gannon was. I do not know. I do not know his.
She's shaking her head left to right. Now she's not shaking her head left to right consistent with what she's saying. Hi, Kate. She would actually be shaking her head left to right because that is a lie. What she is saying is not true.
Plan. I'm sorry that it might have delayed, looking for Gannon. But I do not know where Gannon was. I do not know. I do not know his whereabouts from that point on. But it was still in the same time frame that I gave you guys. So there was no contradictory to that same time frame.
Her hot pocket is right here, MK. It's right between her notes, her phone. I'm not sure what that is, but her hot pocket is hanging on for dear life off the edge of that couch. Hey, Valerie. Yeah, it's a crime to tell the police. Changing her story and says sorry. She's confident. She thought she was going to get away with it. Body language always tends to tell the truth, Shar. I don't know if the hot pocket, the plate had one hot pocket or two. I know usually a box comes with two. I don't know if she was given one or two.
It was about 4 o'clock.
Okay, so go over the time frame with me. What was the time frame?
It had to be around 4.
Okay.
Because Harley gets off at 4:30.
Okay.
And so Harley had just gotten home, or no, was on her way home or something, and my phone was like alerting. I knew Harley was on her way home, and I was gonna tell Harley when she got there. I was gonna be like, look, this is what happened. We need to get help. We need to call 911. And all I kept thinking about was, it's gonna be my fault because I gave him.
That's the thing, Homer. They know what gun. As far as I recall, they still were never able to determine what she used to stab and what what object she used. There was speculation, and they found things being washed in the dishwasher, but they never were able to tie specifically the weapon.
The code. He brought the carpet. He did all that.
Okay.
And
did he fix it?
No, I had already cut it.
Oh, okay.
He brought the big roll of carpet. It's at the house. He brought that.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
where's that at the house?
It's in the back storage room.
Okay. Is that the one that he was hiding in?
Huh?
Is that the storage room that he was in?
Yes.
Whenever you went down there?
Yes. I put the carpet back in the storage room. The reason I put the carpet back in there because it was laying.
Girl, how'd you have time to perfectly put this rolled up carpet he brought in the storage room if he just showed up unexpectedly and all of this started happening and you were being knocked out left and right?
I put the carpet back in the storage room. And the reason I put the carpet back in there because it was laying so the storage room was right here. It had fallen over at some point when all this was going on. So okay. I picked it up and put it back on the thing. I rolled it up.
Oh.
It wasn't all the way rolled.
Go ahead, DJ. Go ahead. Look at her arms wide open. I took the time to make sure to clean up the mess from the man who apparently did all this. I noticed that it was originally standing up again. Bitch, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
Rolled out, but it was somewhat rolled out through the commotion, and I rolled it back up and put it on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So the time frame is that 4 o'clock is whenever.
I don't want to tell you exactly 4. I don't like saying that because
about 4 o'clock was whenever. Okay, yeah. We can say about.
Okay.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
So
did Harley come home? Or?
Yeah, Lane is still out and about. Harley's home, comes home or whatever. I'm pacing the house, trying to think of a plan of what do I do? And I should have immediately gotten on the phone, did whatever. But all I kept thinking about was, it's all my fault. It's my fault because Albert's going to say to me, you gave some stranger access to our home. This is all on you. And in my mind, I thought I could fix it. In my mind, I thought I could fix this.
Yet you're shaking your head. No.
And I don't know why I thought that. That was a horrible decision-making process. But it also was in a very emotional state that in normal situations, people can say all they want. I will call, I would do this, I would do this. But if you're not in a situation, everybody handles things differently.
Sure.
And I was making an irrational decision in a panic situation when I should have immediately, being an educator, being all these things, it should have been one of those things where you immediate know how to answer. And you might think, this girl's going to want to be a flight attendant. She's got to be able to think fast.
You see how she incorporates the lies in there? You see that? I know what people are going to think. This lady with a doctorate who is going to be a flight attendant, she's supposed to think fast. How could she make a decision like this? Actually, no, Leticia. Nobody was going to think that because you weren't going to be a flight attendant, actually. So
this girl's going to want to be a flight attendant. She's got to be able to think fast. It was not that easy in the moment because my mind was in so many directions that I could fix it. I literally thought I was going to fix it.
Sure.
And
thank you, Carrie Beth. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. So thank you. Thank you. Not one word, Alina, not one word, but you want to know, and we saw this with the gruesing too, because we took a break. We paused from the calls just to kind of go through the gruesing interview and this interview real quick. And she always manages to not even lie when it's necessary. She throws in lies to compliment herself. That is like, so it's not even I need to lie to get myself out of this situation. It's while I'm lying, I'm also going to make myself appear a certain way and compliment myself with the lies the same way she just did. I know what you're all going to think, I have a doctorate. I'm smart. I'm a doctor and I'm going to be a flight attendant. I should know better. She's complimenting herself even with the lies. It's narcissism, but it's still so bizarre to watch.
And that was where it went from there. So I was going to tell Harley. I didn't tell Harley. I paced around the situation and was thinking, okay, if I don't have any kind of like information, like if I don't have a plan in my brain by a certain time, that's when I'm going to call authorities.
Okay.
And so that's how.
So you had like predetermined a time that you were going to call if you hadn't figured anything out?
Well, I didn't come up with a specific time, but in my brain I kept saying, okay, I got to act soon. But I knew that, I'm like thinking by 6:30, like I need to make a good decision because what am I going to tell the girls? Because they're going to be like, like where's Gannon, da da da. Like because we were going to all go eat sushi, so that was where that time frame would have been like, what am I supposed to do? Go get in the car and be like, Gannon's not going with us. I couldn't keep going on and on with the irrational decision of not calling 911.
Okay.
And I had to stop the decision.
So what happened? So tell me what happened as it went on.
So I called 911.
Okay.
And they said, hey.
That is a lie. Leticia never called 911. She called the non-emergent line.
Sorry, this is not an emergency. You have to call this other line.
Okay.
So I called the other line, and it was a 4-hour wait for them to get there.
Okay.
So 4 hours later, they came.
A 4-hour wait? Tisha.
I'm still in a panic set. I'm like, these people are, nothing I say is going to solve this situation. So I did say that Gannon left at this time. Again, I've admitted it's a very rational decision because it could have been more helpful to be honest and say, this is the description, here's who we're looking for, instead of like the situation being like, he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that was horrible. I should have done that because I panicked. And
okay.
I need to make a decision.
Okay.
And so from then on, that's when you guys came. They came through, asked me questions. They searched the house, every room, flashlights, whatever. They went outside in the garage. They searched my car, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. And was Harley there at this time?
When they did the searches?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it took like 4 hours. So it was like later in the night that this had happened.
Okay. So when you say they searched your car, which car did they search?
Like the car, my car, like the black car.
The black car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, so there was.
Yeah, see? You see that smirk? They asked that because the next morning is when she ditches the car after loading the car. They had no idea at this point Gannon was still in that house when it was searched. As horrific as that is. But did you see that smirk? So I love that question, Lee the Bee. Lee the Bee says, MJ, serious question. If you didn't know about the horrible truth about what Leticia did, would you believe any of this story? No, I wouldn't. Just based on how inconsistent her body behavior, everything, okay? But what I do like asking people is, if Leticia never spoke, how do you think this would have played out? because it was really her actions and her words that sped things up and made them aware there's something going on here. But if Leticia shut up and was quiet, how do you think this would have gone? And I think ultimately it would have resulted in them pursuing Leticia either way. But it was everything she said in those pretext calls, everything she Google searched, everything she did that indicated where they had to look next. She always gave herself away. There was so much on those pretext calls. She would tell like Al where she was in one of the versions of the stories, and it incriminated her, you know? So, but if she shut up and didn't say anything, what would have led them to search the house more?
There's a deputy, there was like 6 or 7. And then one of those deputies that responded to the scene, he came around with a flashlight and he like searched like everything up and down every room, would ask me questions like, would this wallet be here? Would this be here? You know, like, would this be here? Would this be here?
Sure, trying to figure out what's normal, what's not normal.
And I put everything back in order. Like, like I told you I moved the carpet. You know, I fixed the situation because I was being stupid, and I should have told them what had really happened.
Okay.
And so he went through everything. He went through the outside. He went through the car. He went through the trunk. He went through everything.
Like he actually got into the car?
He wanted my ID.
Okay.
And he asked me, he said, do you mind if I look around? He
Sure.
looked in the garage. He opened my car. In fact, he left my car to open because the next morning the back door was open.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he went in the car doors. I mean, I'm sure you guys have a record of who was in there, but he opened the car, opened up the trunk. He looked through the bags that were in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
He looked through everything in the garage, the bags, whatever over here, came back in. He did the same thing. And
yes, but Leticia is explaining this as if it clears her. They were looking for an 11-year-old child hiding. They were not looking for a body, you guys. So, and I tip my hat off to those officers because they did a thorough search with the information that they had. An 11-year-old child who did not return at the time he was supposed to. Well, let's look for possible places where he could hide. Kids hide.
You know, like in different parts.
So he's trying to be like really thorough.
Yeah, like trying to be really, really thorough. He was going through every part of the house.
Okay.
And he asked me, was anything missing? And it was the truth. There was nothing missing because I did take the gun that he had. I did put the gun.
Yeah, Gannon is missing. Is there anything missing? Gannon? Yeah, he's missing. And it was like, but listen to her explain how she, oh, thank you, Pinche. Listen to how she explains how I not only hid that carpet, I hid that gun too.
There was nothing missing because I did take the gun that he had. I did put the gun back.
Okay.
So
okay.
Oh, Miss Ma'am, did I forget to mention that the gun that he had was our gun? Did I forget? Oh, Miss Ma'am, I'm sorry. Yeah, I should probably let you know. I put it back because somehow he acquired our gun. And so I put it right back into the spot. He didn't leave with the gun. Apparently he put the gun down where I could have taken the gun at any time and got Gannon back. But no, I just sat there. He left the gun right there, walked out with Gannon, and I put it back where it belonged.
He had. I did put the gun back.
Okay.
So
okay. Okay. So was there anything else that happened on Monday? Like, did you talk to Harley about it, or
about
Nina?
About what I told you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I told them the first situation.
Like what you told our dispatcher.
Right.
That, and that was that Gannon went to go play at a friend's house.
Right.
And do you remember the friend's house name?
I never gave anyone a name or anything at all.
Okay.
And also too, like, I didn't want to leave out any key points or whatever.
Sure.
I had my headphones on because when I was like upstairs when it all started, I had my headphones on, so my headphones were still on through the whole scene. So that's why if you ask me like where, like, did you?
I'm sorry. Your headphones managed to stay on that whole time when you heard the weird noises that brought you downstairs to begin with, after you were thrown and hit multiple times in the head. Those are some durable fucking headphones. After you've been schmaped, after then you were knocked out again, after you went up and spoke to Lena and came back down, after all of this, those must be some crazy ass Beats. I don't know what headphones those are, but that is insane that they managed to stay on your fat skull for that long. I am sorry. Like, how convenient, right? Oh, Elena, you don't have to do that, but thank you. That's really kind. Wow. Thank you so much. Congratulations if you just got gifted a membership, Elena. Elena just gifted more memberships. That is amazing. Thank you so much, Elena. You don't have to do that though, but thank you so much. And congratulations. We got all these greens. I'm a strawberry now. Yay, Natasha. Yeah. She just never thought these things out. I don't know why she didn't think them out, but she didn't think them out. You are amazing, Elena. Thank you. It's very generous.
Whole scene. So that's why if you ask me like where, like, did you hear any noises? Did you hear anyone leaving? Did you hear the alarm go back off? I had my headphones still on. They were still on my head.
When you came inside the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like I had my headphones still on when I came inside the house. Like not coming in the house with them, but like in the house. When I went downstairs, I still had my headphones on.
Okay.
Yeah, like I did like this.
That's smart.
Right, okay, so help me.
And I know people are getting sick of hearing the duper's delight, but just pay attention in the gaps, because it's when she stops talking that crack, that smile crack comes out, and she does it right here.
Stairs, I still have my headphones on.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
I did like this.
Sorry, okay, so help me understand.
Yeah.
So when you came into the house, you didn't have them on, but then you had them on when you went downstairs?
Yeah, because I came in doing like a normal, I would get ready to listen to music, I was going to work out thing.
Oh, okay.
So I like, you know, you like move them back and forth.
What kind do you have?
Like I have Beats audio.
Like
I swear I didn't remember they were Beats by Quincy. Okay. They were Beats by Quinn. I didn't realize they were Beats, but damn. So she's not talking about little Bluetooth ones that go in your. She's talking about these big fuckers that are like earmuffs. Yet even after numerous headbangs, they managed to stay on. Those are some crazy ass headphones.
the ones that go over, or
Yeah.
like they come in?
Yeah, the ones that like
Okay.
go, like they kind of like smash your head in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always have to.
Christina,
Yeah, I always have
Fence
to
on
like.
your head?
Always have to like move them, you know, like back and forth and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I
And that's what I was doing, like moving them when I was like, do I hear something? You know,
Okay.
like, cause it's kind of like I heard something, but I wasn't sure that I heard something at all. And that's when I started going downstairs.
Okay. And are they like noise canceling or anything like that, or ambient sound, or do they just do like play regular music?
I mean, I think they would be noise canceling, right? Because that would be
I don't know. I think you can get them either way.
Beats. I'm not sure.
I think you can get them either way.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you knew.
Yeah, I don't know. We have two different pairs, and the one like we have two different, and I know one of them is like the push, you know, like push in kind or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one doesn't push in as much, and I have the ones that like kind of push in a little
Okay.
bit. So
Okay.
that
So
might
you
be,
have two different pairs?
no, Albert. I'm saying like we have two
As a family.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one were you wearing?
Mine.
Okay. Which color are those?
I feel like they're like a rose gold or maybe like a matte gold or
Okay. And what color are Albert's?
red. I think.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. We just want to make sure
Yeah.
that, you know, like if we see them or whatever again, then we know which ones are yours
Yeah,
and which
yeah,
ones are his. So that it's like, you know, if you said that that your head got hit and stuff like that, and we'll go back to that
Right.
a little bit, but maybe if he like touched on
Exactly. You said your head got hit. Not once you even did the motions of do, do, do. Your head got hit so many times, yet those beats, they just stayed on for dear life. And you didn't have any issue hearing Edgar with these noise cancellation. Did you press pause on the music? I need to know these things.
some or something like that, then we want to make sure that we get the right ones.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So was there anything else that happened Monday, like after the deputies left or anything like that?
No, so I went out to my car that morning because I knew that Albert was going to fly in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she did go out to that car after retrieving Gannon from the storage room. And there is Ring doorbell where you see her loading something. And she did move him along with the car. So with that in context, just be aware of what the truth is. And she knows what the truth is. And when she's telling the bullshit, because you're going to see her struggling because she's recalling from a memory, but she has to not acknowledge that memory and use the other side of her brain to create a story.
And so normal, like routine, you know, like I got up, whatever. I got in my car and I realized that the guy had left the back door open. And then so I was like, oh, my car might not crank. And I, drive out and I drive down the street because I was going to drive my car, blah, 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 to pick it up. And I decided to come back because it was too early. His flight wasn't coming in until 8:53.
Okay.
And I was going to honestly just drive. I had to think in my brain, I was like, this is the best thing. But I didn't. I just drove down the street, came back.
And that was in your black car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you ended up picking him up later?
Yeah.
And you took your black car to do that?
No. Yes. So what happened is I took my black car, but I sent him a message earlier and I said, hey, is it okay if we get a rental car?
Okay.
And he said yes.
So you guys know what the truth is here. So you could see how as uncomfortable as she will let on, but this is total bullshit. And she knows she has to be careful because of what the truth is. You're welcome, Perpetual. Well, Elena got you, but I'm glad that you got it.
This is earlier and I said, hey, is it okay if we get a rental car?
Okay.
And he said yes. I have a leased vehicle, so you can only put 1,000 miles on it. And I'm pretty anal about, I don't want to go over and that type of thing.
Okay.
So his car is very expensive on gas. So I was going to get I did get a little economy car, and I knew we'd be driving around everywhere. Everybody was searching. And in my mind, I was freaking out because I'm going to be blamed because I gave someone our codes and our home. And so I was I know we're going to drive everywhere all day. So I was I'm going to get a rental car.
Okay.
So I did. And so I got my rental car and I left my black car at the airport.
You left it at the airport?
Right. Because I had to have a way to, I didn't walk. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Albert asked me where my car was at and I told him it was at French.
Gannon was moved multiple times. Again, I circle back around to we still don't know exactly what had happened, but it's believed Gannon was first put in the storage room. The next morning, Tuesday morning, before she went and got Al, she put him in the back and drove that car to the airport. She left it parked at Long Term. At the airport, she then rented a vehicle and came to Arrivals, pulled around Arrivals, picked Al up, and drove back home. She told Al the car was parked at French Elementary. He went and checked. It wasn't at French Elementary. She returns to the airport. Harley drives her. She throws the rental keys at them, picks up her car, and then she actually drives to the side where that board was found on the side of the road and moves his body there. Then she takes her car to the car wash, and she arrives to this interview with the car still wet. Okay? So think about all that she has done at this point when she's talking about this.
The reason I told him that is because Albert and I get in a lot of fusses about this whole working and changing career thing that you guys, I told you about in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And that was like a personal situation that I didn't want to fuss with him about, you know, like the working and changing, you're going to give up your career for this, and this. So I just said, he knew I had just worked at French. So he knew that. So I said, it was at French, one of my friends brought me. Okay.
I think, Valerie, there was someone watching over Gannon, and I don't mean to get, I think everything just happened perfectly for Gannon to be found. Thank God he was found. And I believe it was divine intervention. I really do. But to answer your question, it was cold. It was very cold, and that helped circumstances and slowed down decomp. And he wasn't there long.
Okay.
So that's why he thought it was at French, but it was my way of, so he thought that I wanted him, he knew I had to go get my stuff from French because I stopped working there. So, and that's kind of, I wanted it to go with the story because I wasn't ready yet to tell him I wasn't returning at all to education. It just wasn't.
He was.
Okay, so he doesn't know that yet.
He was in a suitcase starting from the very first moment. He was in a suitcase in the storage room. Okay, so he was always in the suitcase because along with him was the pillow and the blankets too. Alina got you, Monica. I'm glad that you got one.
Well, he knows that like I'm a bit of flight attendant, and oh, never mind, I can't do it because I've been back and forth. You're gonna go from making almost, I think like $60,000 to, I think they make like $18 to $20 an hour, but you can only do so many things like reserve shifts. You got my crash pads, so I'm back and forth on something I really want to do and the money. So I went back and forth with him on that, and that was just one of those things where I just wasn't prepared to be like, oh, you're gonna be a teacher again. Oh, you're gonna do this again. Oh, you're back at the school again. Blah blah blah. You know, so you're back at subbing again. So
you drove to the airport in your black car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What time did you do that?
His flight landed at 8:50 something, so I got there in time to park my car, and then I walked up to the.
I wish they did.
He was coming down the escalator, and then I go over to budget, and I, get the rental car. He's sitting on the little corner over here, waiting on his bags. And we walk out. We get the car. We leave.
Okay. And so, where did you park your car at the airport? Do you remember?
In the short-term parking, maybe about like a middle. Okay. It's a long, like the short-term is it goes from, you got the rental cars, the section here, section. So it went to like the farther section and maybe like over here.
Okay. Okay. And then, but you're in your black car this morning.
Right.
Okay.
Because I had to turn the rental car back in.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So you picked your car up this morning?
No. So I took the rental car back last night because I didn't know what time situation,
So she picked it up last night. We are Bellis. And throughout the night hours, please remember, she was texting Bethel at 2 a.m. planning this interview and saying, so hypothetically, if I had a friend whose spouse was cheating, you know, like she was texting Bethel, who isn't in the room anymore at this point, crazy things, okay? But she was also getting rid of G's body, moving it yet again, and then went to the car wash. And so she did not sleep. Once again, I've been trying to say to you guys for the longest time, she did not sleep from the murder till her arrest, at least REM sleep. Like she was just short, quick little naps. And I don't know if that was true even before the murder, but at least from the murder on, she was not sleeping. She was go, 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 go. Elena, that's so very kind of you. Thank you so much, Elena. Once again, Elena gifted another 20 memberships, which is insane, but thank you so much. Congratulations if you got a membership. I think everyone's getting a membership. So thank you so much. I don't know what to say. I feel bad just saying thank you, but thank you, Elena.
Upset with me for not telling you guys first, so that, you know, it could have been a quicker search or whatever the case may be. So I didn't know, like, I thought we were gonna have to stay, you know, like in a hotel or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I parked my car. My Harley picked me up because I was going to get a room at the hotel.
Okay.
And so I thought you guys knew that because there was sheriff's there this morning. So.
Well, people are working different pieces,
Yeah.
and so I just want to make sure that while we're
we
talking that I have all of the information.
Right.
So if I ask you something that you feel like has already been covered before, I'm not trying to be a brat or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we have everything. We're all on the same
Right.
page with everything.
Right.
Okay. So you drove the rental car back last night, early this morning.
No, it was last night. It wasn't that late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Harley picked you up, and you left your car at the airport still?
No. Okay, so I drove the rental car back, got in my car,
Okay.
left.
Okay.
Okay, so I didn't have anywhere to go because they're fussing at me and people are not, you know, everything's going on in the searches and things like that. So I just.
Which again, another example of how Leticia put Harley in a situation where everybody questioned her involvement, and it was so unfair to do that to her child. So she had her buy the cleaning supplies. She had her very, very close. She had her driving her to the car at the airport, which ultimately had his body, you know, like, and then she used her account to make Facebook posts. Harley is a victim of her mother as well. It's just so sad.
Basically, I didn't really have anywhere to go, and some of my stuff was at home, so I didn't have a car to get gas. I didn't have anything like that. So I was basically like just, you know, like going somewhere parking, like trying to stay warm because it got a little bit cold or whatever.
Sure.
So finally, gave in and was like, Albert, look, and he was like, I need you to tell me the truth. And that's when I started messaging her that, hey, Wood, I'm gonna come home and I'm sorry. I'll tell you exactly what happened. It's all my fault because I should have let everyone know that I gave someone the code and I tried to replace the carpet. So at that point, I leave my car at the hotel, which was near Harley's work.
Okay.
And Albert was like, you guys coming? And I said, yes, we're on our way. I leave my car at the hotel the entire night and leaving Harley's car. We stay at home last night, and then I come back with Harley when she came to work this morning, and I walk over to the hotel.
Okay. So had you gone and gotten a hotel room and then changed your mind and decided to stay home, or you just parked your car?
No, I parked my car because I was going to get a hotel. And my thought process was if we got in Harley's car and went home, and I didn't want people like his ex-wife is there, you know, I didn't want people like the domestic type situations like going on, you know, with me, myself, against,
She's
you know, like her family and that type of thing. So my plan was we'll just come back here and stay at the hotel if we have to.
Sure.
So that was the whole point of me leaving my car there.
Okay. Do you remember which hotel it was?
Yes, it's the IHG, the Holiday Inn that was right there.
Holiday Inn?
Yeah, and again, that's where the police were at all morning, where my car was at.
We were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it could have been something separate, but I just assumed because when I got in my
Listen to her. Hi, chicken shy. Hope you're having a good time doing family stuff. Family comes first. But listen to her. Well, you guys were there. All the cops were there. And the detective's like, we were? You know, and Leticia's like, well, unless it's something else. Chicken shite. You guys are far too kind, first of all. But thank you so much, Chicken Shite. Chicken Shite just gifted 5 memberships. Everyone's getting a membership. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all of our new members. This most generous community. I don't even know what to say. Thank you doesn't suffice, but thank you so much. I love having you guys all members, so thank you.
my car to pick it up. I'm just like,
work
at the one at Center Point.
Center Point,
Mhm.
so over by like the movie theater and stuff like that. Okay, and it was sheriff's cars or CSPD cars?
El Paso, whatever, white and maybe green, maybe white and something.
Okay.
I just assumed they were there because you guys in my car was there, but I parked it there because first of all only drove one car in case we came back. We had to stay at the hotel, so.
Okay.
But yeah, it was parked there.
Okay.
And then I picked it back up this morning. So.
You picked it back up this morning?
Yeah.
And then you came here, or
Yeah.
did you go
No,
anywhere
Michelle.
No, I was just driving around. I was on the phone trying to figure out situations for, like, my mom was getting, like I told you, was getting all those messages. So I wanted to, like, talk to them because they were freaking out and I hadn't been able to talk to them in the last 24 hours. So at that point, my mom was like really worried that I hadn't told her why are these people, you know, sending her death threats, you know. And so at that point in time, I had to make that decision to focus on making sure my mom knew, like, hey, listen, don't respond to, you know, anything people say, you know, and that type of thing.
So I did have one question. I know, like, and it was probably really frustrating. I know your husband was upset and stuff like that too. Like, we took a long time to get out there for.
So, Homer, the closest we ever got to a confession was when she was already incarcerated, and she does change her plea to not guilty by reason of insanity. And she claims that she saw a figure in a cape, and she had shot the figure and shot herself, not realizing it was Gannon. That's the closest we ever get to a confession, which is not really a confession, but that's the closest one we got. Thank you, Angie, for the super sticker. It's very kind. Thank you so much. Nothing makes the members only Monday, like 85 new members. You guys are too amazing, so thank you.
I guess we were under the impression that it was a runaway or whatever,
Right.
so it took longer.
I gotta make
guys. But in the meantime,
what came through. I don't know why her voice changed, but I gotta cut out Leticia's gray legs and make them an emoji, man.
like, when we did get out there, there's like all these people out in the neighborhood and like stuff going on in Facebook and stuff like that. How did that happen? Like,
Albert had someone else start talking on Facebook.
Okay.
One of the kids' moms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she like initiated something on Facebook, and then of course all the people comment on it.
Okay.
Because the community page is a quite active page for it.
Okay. I didn't know if you had posted something or if Albert.
Not originally. He had the girl Cambria
Okay.
to post an original post initially, and then.
Okay. Is that like a friend of your guys's or?
That's one of the kids' Braden's mom.
Thank you again,
Okay.
Angie. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I want to go back a little bit.
Okay.
Just to
I
kind of.
think I could like use the restroom really fast.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
I didn't get it.
Yet she denies that she was able to use the restroom when she was suing. She was denied food, water, bathroom. Yet Bethel clearly states to her in the beginning, if at any point you're tired, you need a break, you want to leave, anything, just let me know.
Well,
Takes her hot
so I have
pocket.
to be like.
Oh yeah, it's two. I think it's 2 hot pockets. I see 2, unless that's the pocket next to the container.
Is it?
No, we're coming back. We're
Okay,
gonna
I
come
was
back
gonna say,
in
was
here.
it like a long-term process or something like that?
No,
Oh,
you can just leave everything.
Is this a long-term process? Listen to her. Homer, it's available on Law and Crime Network, Court TV. If you just type in Letecia Stauch, I'll get it for you and I'll drop the link here in a minute for it. It's easier for me to find it. Is this a long-term process? And she's saying you can leave at any time. Like, again. Yeah, and she was offered tamales.
We're coming back. We're
Okay, I was
back
gonna
in
say, was
here.
it like a long-term process or something like that?
No, you can just leave everything wherever it is, and we don't have to like clean up anything or anything like that. And I'll just show you where the restroom is.
Okay.
Do you want to leave that here?
With what?
Your hot pocket.
Oh,
You don't want to take it to the bathroom, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Those notes. Yeah, take
Oh,
those
so
notes,
cool.
baby. She takes a bite of that. And I'm sorry, anybody who's ever had a Hot Pocket before, you know if you don't eat it while it's hot, okay? You know if you don't eat that Hot Pocket while it's indeed a Hot Pocket, that shit gets hard as cement. Has anyone ever tried to take a bite out of a Hot Pocket that's been sitting for like maybe just even 5 minutes, yo? Like, that shit is hard. But she takes a chomp, even though after everything, all of this stuff that she's talking about is so traumatic. Like, it's so, even her having to lie should be really hard, you know? And she still chomps in it. And she's like, oh, let me not forget these notes, because you know she pulled out those notes, yet she put them down and she never referred to them. So she probably went so far off what her notes even said. She could not leave them there. Yeah, like Old McDonald, like they get hard. If you even overcook a Hot Pocket, it gets hard. No, Amber. No. You'll crack a tooth. You will. So it speeds up. She puts on her 90s Nickelodeon windbreaker, and now she makes a call.
Hey. Yeah. Or yeah. I know.
She's
I
crying.
can't. But he'll lose his job. If he loses his job, I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
She's like, I can't. If he loses his job, I can't. Oh, okay. So I don't think it's a real call. This is when she's making a call. Okay, Angie, thank you so much. And I got it for you, Homer. I'm gonna drop the link for it right now. But she's faking a call. Sorry, it's just, she fakes this call. She's not talking to no one, Roro. She's not talking to no one, all right? Hi, Caleb. And she's like, I don't know what to do. What if he loses his job? Meaning Al. She knows they're listening. And so she's making it seem like Al has involvement. Okay. So I'm going to jump back a quick second and just watch her body language, because you know what this reminds me of? When Gypsy Rose recently got a picture taken from TMZ, and it's supposed to be her just walking with her phone on it. Meanwhile, you zoom up to the phone and it's on the home screen. She's not on no call. It was totally staged. But look at like where her eyes are looking and stuff.
Hey. Yeah. Or yeah. I know. I can't because he'll lose his job. If he loses his job, I don't know. I don't know. I can't. It wouldn't work out that well.
It wouldn't work out that well.
Yeah.
First of all, please remember that they had to like stand on their tippy toes earlier to even get a little smidge of a bar of signal. Please remember that. Do you remember she had to stand over Bethel in the corner? And Bethel said, only if you go to this top right of this room will you get any service. But look at her just sitting right here. Acting like she's on a call. Acting like she's on a call, man.
I know. I'm not going to do that because Albert will lose his job. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's so cringe. It is so cringe because they open the door and instead of hushing up, Leticia's like, because Albert will lose his job. Albert will lose his job. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. You know, like, oh my God. It's so cringe.
Albert will lose his job. Okay. All right. Let me see. Bye. Sorry, I didn't know you were on the phone. It's okay.
Look at that smirk. Look at that smirk. Look at that smirk. Yo. Look at that smirk when she pretends to hang up this phone, okay? Look, it's even starting right there. Do you see it? Look at this liar.
Sorry, I didn't know you were on the phone. It's okay. Sorry, you know, a little caffeine. Okay. So I just want to back up with you. We kind of have like a good overview of everything, but so we can start really narrowing down to try and find Gannon and everything else like that. I just want to try and get some more specific stuff on everything. Yeah. So I did write some stuff down. Okay. So, so going back to the just a little bit to the fire part, mm-hmm. You said that Gannon had some stuff on his arms. What part of his arms was that? My I don't remember, like the inner area. Just point to like wherever like it was. In this, like in the inner area like this. Okay, so like right here. Yeah, but like the burns were like not like you're thinking like round burns. It was more of like not like burns that are like this. Right here. Mm-hmm. It was more of not necessarily burns, but like a little bit like skin. Like it was like skin peeling, like in lots. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so that was like on his left arm, his right arm. It was on both arms because remember when I came in, I took the covers and like basically like got on top of both of, like on him and the fire. Oh. Not like him pushing him on the fire, but like you know, like I was just trying to get the fire out. Okay. And he was like hanging off the side of the off the side of the sofa. And he was still asleep? No, he was like saying my name. Like he was alert, like what's going on because he had just like woken up. Okay. Yeah. So he was not having a full conversation with me.
You're welcome, Homer.
As in just like calling my name, and he's like, I'm so sorry. He kept saying he was sorry. He didn't mean to do it. Daddy's been ground me for a year. So it was him thinking, oh my gosh, shoot. Like kind of like waking up being like, oh shit, I just made a mistake. Like we would say in the mind of a kid. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Okay. So the next day, you go to, like, you're trying to figure out how to get this carpet fixed. Mm-hmm. And you said that you had already, you cut the carpet? I cut the carpet. Okay. Yeah. What did you use?
Good night, Carrie.
I had Albert has, like, these tools that are, like, wood working tools, like chisels and I don't know the specific name of the ones, but they're, like, a little saw things. And I just, like, took the carpet and did like this. Okay. Okay. I mean, I didn't necessarily saw it, but I just kind of was like, they're very sharp tools. He has a lot of woodworking tools and stuff in the garage. So I just took one of those things. It's got like a handle. And
What color? You know, like can you describe it?
Because I tried with the box cutter, but I couldn't, like it wasn't like deep enough to like really pull whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I tried a couple times with the box cutter. And so like it kind of like started the process, but then I had to get like a stronger object or whatever to do it.
Okay, sure. So you cut the carpet, and then you guys are gonna go try to figure out how to like get this fixed or whatever else. So you said that you went over to like where some new construction is. Do you remember? Can you tell me more about that?
I'm not familiar with the area. I mean, I could, if you want me to drive you there, or whatever. I don't know, like they give you street names if that's what you're asking.
That's fine. But can you just describe it for me a little bit better?
Okay, so like the school.
The box cutter was so significant, and I don't know exactly how it came into play, but it definitely has a role other than the claim she made that Gannon went crazy with the box cutter. But what I noticed is interesting is right there when she's like, I could drive you there. She said the same thing to Grusing when he says, Leticia, we pulled footage from Petco. There was no angel and another vehicle that Gannon got into. And she's like, well, go through it with me. Go let me see it and I'll point it to you. I'll point you in the direction. It is. I think so, Julie. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it too. And I know it's hard because I don't like to relive the details of what happened again. And, so it's hard, but I wanted to go through these with you guys at least once. Abellis, thank you. I hereby declare Elena Queen of Gifting. Thank you, Elena. You are amazing and wonderful. We love you all. Well, definitely yes, but thank you also, Abellis. That's very kind of you. You guys are all kind, and you guys all look out for each other, and it's probably the best community on YouTube, and I know all creators say that, but I'm beyond blessed to have all of you, so thank you. Yeah, and she brought their attention to the box cutter, and she was like, well, and it was laying out there perfectly. I don't know. It is haunting to know that they don't have all of the murder weapons either, so I don't, it frustrates me that what truly happened, everything is not known, and Leticia gets to have that power and control. But I don't know. I don't know if the box cutter was used on the day of the murder or not.
There's the school in the back, and so there's a bunch of new builds that are in the area right near the school.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember, like, when you went to the new builds and stuff like that, was it, like, the first house in or, like, 12 houses in? Or how far in did you have to go?
It was a couple, but I'd rather just go show you because you're going to quote me on me telling you an estimate of the number so I can give you an accurate description of which house it was.
Okay. Well, for now, let's go with what you kind of remember. Like, do you remember, did you have to drive far in there or just a short distance?
I don't know what you mean by like far in there.
Like into where the new builds are.
So they're all like, you just go around. It's just like in loops.
Okay.
So I don't know what you're asking.
And it's one of the reasons, Kashar said so many children murdered these days. It is one of the reasons why, and I know I say it so many times, so I'm sorry. I must sound like a broken record. But the reason I focus on Leticia is for many reasons. But I fear that there are other women like Leticia. And when I say that, I don't think that they're born to be a killer. I don't think Leticia was born to be a killer. I don't. I think that she was always a liar and deceptive and manipulative and gaslighting and narcissistic. But I think the perfect storm of it was just a perfect equation that led her to doing what she did. And I think that there are other people who share those traits that it could be a perfect storm in their scenario. And you need to look for the warning signs. There are so many warning signs that you will become desensitized to. Al became desensitized to them. Don't become desensitized to them. Know that this is wrong and that this isn't normal. So if you see anything like this in someone that you may be with, get out fast. And thank you so much, Homer. You're so kind. Thank you very much. That is very generous. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Right, Shar. Her hate ate her heart up for land and her envy. But I've never quite seen I've gone through a lot of parents who have killed their children. They're the hardest ones, children cases. But I've seen it for a variety of reasons, whether mental illness, it was a bad custody battle and the parent did something extreme. I don't know if I've ever seen a level of hate for a victim the way that Leticia has a hate for Gannon. And she has a hate for him even after such a brutal murder, where if all of her emotions built up and she snapped, you would still expect to see some remorse and, oh my God, after. No, that hate only built up over time. Think about the 1-year anniversary of his murder. Leticia and Aunt Brenda on the calls talking shit. Like, there was nothing but hate there. And that's so strange to me.
Okay, sure.
She did.
I mean, I can show you. I just don't know your terms of distance that you're asking me. Like,
okay. Well, I guess so. You're saying that they're like in a loop or whatever.
No, the whole area is in those loops, those streets, there's different sections of the new build.
She's mad.
Yeah,
She's
so
asking for decal.
I can show you because you're going to quote me on me you hand motion and things like that, and that's not fair to me. Being on a conversation, that's just not fair.
Okay.
And I'm sure if I had a attorney here, he would say we're going to go show instead of just giving you something that would be an estimate.
So you went to the new build,
mm-hmm.
and you found this guy and asked him about.
Yeah, his name was Eduardo.
Eduardo?
He said, or Eduardo. I don't know how to say the Spanish.
And there it begins, the story of Eduardo. Okay. Again, I remember this in the arrest affidavit, and everyone was like, what the hell? Like, it was bizarre. Shanda Van Dark, possibly. Again, I could sit there and I could pull out traits, Diane Downs, Jodi Arias, Casey, but nothing that still fits so perfectly. Yep, Eduardo. Yes, Debbie Doodles, she took a lot of her hatred of Landon out on Gannon, and it only intensified the more that Gannon made it known that Leticia was never going to replace Landon, which never should be an issue. A stepmom is not meant to replace biomom. You're like, that doesn't mean that you aren't taking on all those tasks, right? But you're not supposed to replace. And I think about how Leticia says all the time, like, I did all this. She even admitted, I wanted to be the one that Gannon only wanted to be with. Hi, Queen Bella. And it wasn't, because you're not his mom. At the end of the day, you're not his mom. And that's not minimizing step parents at all, versus you can't replace his mom. And she hated that. But everything she describes Gannon to be, hi, Rhonda, the first one to help, the nicest one of them all, like, he would be kind, he would let me sleep in, I believe all of those things about him. I think he was, which made him easier to pick on. Yes, exactly, Melulin. Like, she literally said she wanted to be the one that he wanted the most, and she wasn't. Yeah.
Spanish names right, but Eduardo,
Okay.
something like, maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I heard Eduardo.
With like a G?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it might be a J if it's a Spanish. I'm not sure how they
Okay.
do it, but I'm not Spanish, but Eduardo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he said he told you that was his name?
Yeah, he said Eduardo.
Okay.
Yeah. And so maybe about like 5'8", really skinny. He had on a tool belt. Had on like a sweater vest. I say sweater vest, like a cold weather vest. I think it was red. I don't really remember exactly, but he did have blue jeans on, and he had the combat boots or whatever. I'm assuming in my mind that this was just this was somebody who was he looked like he was like a legit worker. There was people, like on the houses. There was people working in different areas, so I didn't think it was that he was a legit, not necessarily a contractor, but someone that was going to be able to,
someone knowledgeable to be able to help you out.
Right.
Okay.
And I didn't explain to him what had happened. Like, I didn't say, okay, this happened. I said, we need a piece of carpet. Do you have the carpet for this model of home?
Okay. And what did he say?
He said yes.
He said yes. Conveniently, Eduardo walks around perfectly with your home carpet. The exact identical carpet you have in your home, Eduardo has in his back pocket. How convenient is that?
And I was like, do you have the carpet? And I gave him like a hand reference of like the size that I would need. And he said, yes, we have a roll for that. They have I don't know if he said they had all of them have the same in those model homes or the same color. He was saying something along, I don't really know the definition of that, but some certain homes have the same exact thing and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like, might have the same floor in one, the same, because a lot of the homes are the same every 5 houses or whatever.
Right. So like they have like 3 or 4 houses that they build over and over and over again.
Right.
Okay. And they put the same finishings in them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was my assumption that I had taken from that.
Okay. Right. And so he said that they had it, and then what happened next as far as like him having it?
So
do you need to get that?
No. It was I just always check to make sure it's on my garter.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't worry, Mom. So he said he was going to bring the carpet and fix it, and I gave him the code to get into the garage.
Okay. And you had mentioned
Not
that
me, Elena.
you thought maybe you would find somebody that would
Good
want to
night,
do like a
Patty.
side job or whatever else.
Right.
How much did he say he was going to charge you for doing this and for the carpet and stuff like
Right.
that?
So we never had made that.
I know it.
Just like that conversation. I just said, hey, and I'll give you a small donation. So what I did was I said,
so we never even agreed. We never even agreed on a price. This man just happened to have the exact carpet I needed. He carried it with him, and he said he would come do this for free. And I said I would give him a small donation. Bitch, it's not donating if he's doing his work, right? He's coming with supplies, and he's putting work and time and energy in. That's not a donation, Miss Ma'am. You are paying for work. But he agreed to come for nothing? You never even said an amount? Come on, Tisha.
I just said, hey, and I'll give you a small donation. So what I did was I said, okay, I think my ex-husband, Harley's dad, he used to like work in sheetrock and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm thinking little jobs like this back home would have been like $10 an hour. Here, it's probably a little more, like $15, $20 an hour, whatever. And I said, I'll give you a small donation. You didn't ask me earlier about the part, so sorry if we left out. And I said, I'll give you a small donation. And then in my mind, a donation was going to be $50. So that's exactly, I had cash. And that's exactly what I had was the $50, like on the counter. And I explained that to him, that it would be on the counter. Thank you for, doing it. Make sure the garage is closed. And like I said, you didn't ask me all that, but I did go through a conversation. I just didn't be like, hey, bring the carpet. Here's the
sure, and that's why we.
I didn't want you to think that because
that's why we
not what happened. I went through the process of make sure you close the garage back. We have a security system. I told him we had cameras. I talked it up through the conversation.
Okay.
let him know that this is the step.
Well, and that's the thing, like Lita B, is that she does not just lie about the things that are necessary to lie about. And this is where she gets herself very hung up, is that she lies. Have you got one, Michelle? She lies to the extreme about things you do not need to lie about. Usually, when someone lies, it's to get out of circumstances, and it's a bare minimum, right? Like, all right, you took a left. I'm going to say I took a right. But instead, Leticia's like, well, I took 3 rights, which ended up being a left. I went straight past 3 lights, except the one light didn't work. Just, what? And so she gives way too much detail that you could never remember because it's just additional lies for no reason. She's trying to make it seem, which it's called overcompensating. You are overcompensating for your lie because you do not think that your lie is sufficient on its own. So you're putting an abundant and surplus amount of information that's not needed to try and build a foundation for the lie to stand on. But it's actually going to be what crumbles your lie.
And the processes and stuff like that to follow.
Okay, so let's talk about that conversation a little bit, just because we didn't, and that's why we did go back and get more information and everything else like that.
We need Bethel.
He says he has the carpet, and then did you ask him like, okay, can I just have the carpet, or did you ask him like, can you fix it for me, or did he volunteer to fix it for you?
Or you me just have it?
Like, did you ask him if he would just give you the carpet? Or like,
I was going to be like a package deal, I was assuming. It's just like, I thought it
was going to be a package deal, yet I never agreed to pay this man. I said I would give him a small donation. What package deal? This is so ridiculous. I just assumed he would bring the carpet. It's a package deal that I was never paying for. I just was going to give him a small donation. Oh my Lord. She gets offended that she's asking for details. When we see this all the time with Leticia, she genuinely thought this detective was just going to take her bullshit and, just like with Gruesing, all right, give me immunity. How dare you ask for details? This is a package deal, ma'am.
Or like,
me just have it?
Like, did you ask him if he would just give you the carpet? Or like,
I was going to be like a package deal, I was assuming. Because it's just like, I wasn't asking for like the carpet for the size room. I gave him like the like the size. So in my mind is he's bringing a scrap like rolls or scraps or whatever. That's already some extra from a job.
Okay, so you didn't ask him to just like bring you carpet so you could fix it. You asked him to come and fix it for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean I had it in my mind to fix it, but then I was like, you have to measure, and then like, because I changed tools, like one side was going to be like this length, so if you cut it different on that side, and it just was a little out of my thought process of that I could do.
Okay, yeah. Have you, like, if you've never done carpet before, I would imagine that like trying to patch something would be kind of hard, especially if you had to use different stuff to cut it. Okay.
And allegedly has Gannon right now.
Okay, so he agrees to come to your house to fix it, so you give him the address.
Yes. I went through the whole spiel of here's where it's at, like here's money, how much we do back home. I mean, it was probably like a good 2-3 minute conversation of the specifics that needed to be done. And I did that out of panic because I needed to get it fixed. I didn't want to put it on Craigslist because people say call me or
probably
upcharge and we need to replace the whole section and things like that.
And did he tell you like what he would charge you, or did you just say this is how much I'm willing to pay?
No, I just immediately said that I was going to give a donation, like in the term.
Look at that smirk! Look at that smirk! She even knows how ridiculous it sounds as she's saying it. This man agreed to bring his own supplies and to come and to do this on his own for a small donation. How small? Are we talking about a quarter? How fucking small? Okay. This man did not agree. Look at that smirk. She can't even hold back. Thank you, Leslie, for being a member for 7 months. Stop, show some love, hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much. It's a donation, yo.
In terms of, like, I didn't really have a lot to give you, but can you, like, hook me up? But I kind of was like, can you, like, hook me up like that? You know, being more of like a, please do this for me, I really need it.
What you trying to pull off that you were flirting with Eduardo? This is a man who apparently assaulted, raped you, and took Gannon, and look at you smiling like, I asked him like, hey baby, can you hook it up? Like, that's how there is no trauma associated with what she's saying at all. It doesn't matter. It was a package deal. It's so ridiculous. But right, exactly, Elena. Like, you're a rapist, yet look at you smiling, right? About how you were working out. It was a package deal with him, you know, and she put a little something in there. You could tell there's no emotion, there's no trauma. She is not recalling from a memory.
I don't have a lot of money.
Like a favor?
Yeah, I mean, because if he's on the job working and he makes so much an hour and can make an extra $50 that day, that was 150 might turn into 200.
Gotcha.
You know, so in my mind of thinking of doing that was back to the times that Harley's dad would do the same thing. You know, he would be like, don't go pay a subcontractor. Just go get someone who wants to work after hours, you know, or whatever. And so that was my thought process. That'd be cheaper, faster. Someone will come do it right away, and then we're done with the situation.
Okay. So, what did you tell him as far as like how to get into the house and stuff like that?
What do you mean how to get? I just gave him the garage code.
Okay.
And I explained where the carpet needed to be replaced. So, I mean,
okay.
There's no like when you enter the home, there's no like specifics. You just upstairs, downstairs. That's it.
Okay. So you told him it was downstairs and kind of the area that it was in, or you walk downstairs, you would have saw it. Okay.
Like it wouldn't have been like you needed to go search for it. I mean, that's common sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not saying you common sense. I'm saying to the person that's coming, it's like, oh, that's carpet, you know. Because see, I had took the rug right here when I showed the police when they came. I had took the rug and put like a piece of carpet that was on it. But the problem with the piece of carpet that was on it was that was a piece of carpet that was from the outside.
Oh,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like we walk on it. And
it was like an extra piece.
Right. And I mean, sure, they could have, you know, used the same carpet, but I needed a carpet to fit a specific size. So if someone had extra carpet, then why not go ahead and fix the whole thing, you know? And we could have a little extra roll for hopefully if there's ever any emergencies or anything like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought that there would have been some somewhere.
And she still goes.
In your house?
Right.
Okay.
Because, you know, like sometimes, you know, like I knew like when we had our home, we sold it, we left our square, what are they called, the hardwood floors? We left like maybe like 10 little sheets and things like that. So like I thought, you know, but in my mind, like, okay, no, I'm just going to go. I hadn't seen anything, so I had to, you know, go find it.
Look at this smile.
And you act so much differently when you're trying to be impulsive and hurry up and get it done, quick decision, when I probably could have just been like, hey, you know, let's look at something that we have maybe in the back corner. We could have cut a piece out or something like that. But I didn't want to go messing up another lady's house.
Right?
An old lady's house.
Another lady's house. But it's her house.
She doesn't just even answer what her question is, but she willingly gives and gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. And when the detective doesn't stop, and you could tell, at least in my opinion, Bethel was the lead detective. She had to step out, and so this detective is taking over. But I wish Bethel would get back in here already and actually push back. But Leticia will keep talking if you let her keep talking. It's one of those narcissistic traits.
Like the renter, like the owner, we rent from them.
Okay, so you rent. Okay. Yeah. I thought you guys owned.
No.
My bad. Okay. So, so you left, so you went there. You said that he was about 5'8".
Yeah.
Okay. What color hair did he have?
I say 5, because my husband's 6 foot, just a little bit shorter, skinny, dark hair like mine.
What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys when we did the last gruesing interview? And how did she describe Angel? What did I tell you guys? They often describe themselves. So here we are again with Eduardo. He had hair like mine, same color as mine. She starts to describe characteristics of herself because she is the killer. And your brain does it without even realizing it's doing it. Because when she asks the question, what did this person look like? Your brain goes to answer. And your brain is going to have the image of yourself.
And so, like, I'm really brown in the summer, but
I'm from here too. That doesn't mean you're Hispanic.
I know, but people always think that. So, skin complexion was a lot darker than mine.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want me to give you like a Sephora skin complexion thing, but I would say like middle to tannish color.
And was this hair, like, did it have texture to it? Was it straight? Was it curly?
Well, he had a thing on his head, so it was like a little, I don't know, like a little hat piece or something. And it was just, I can't tell you like a hairstyle because he had like a little brown like strap thing around it, but it was just like almost like jet black hair.
Okay.
But it wasn't like long.
Okay. And then, what was his face shape like?
Maybe like a little chubbier than mine.
Okay.
So again, what is his face shaped like? We all do not have the same face shapes. And so now she's saying like mine, but a bit chubbier. Once again, why are you using your own face shape to describe the person who took Gannon? I'll never forget, and I'll find out what case it was. It was so fascinating to watch this woman. Like I said, she had killed her child. Police did not know about it at this time. She said that there was a man who took the child, and they had from the police department, a sketch drawn up. And when they come in, that's when the police knew, because they saw the sketch and they were like, "Ma'am, look at this sketch that they drew up based on what you told them." They went through eyebrows, eyes, eyelashes, nose, mouth. And when they pulled out the sketch, I'm telling you, it was, and they were like, "This looks like you." And the woman cracked and admitted she did it. But unconsciously, she described to an officer whose job is to create these images. He had no bias. He had no idea what she was even in there for. His job was just to sketch up whatever she said. And it was the male version of her. It was her. And that's because she knew, guilty conscious, she was the killer. So when in your mind you're being asked, tell us what the killer looks like, your brain is going to want to answer with the truth. You saw it too, Katie? When you see this sketch compared to the woman and you see her cracking down in the interview, "Hey, ATS," you see her cracking, and it was so fascinating. And now I see in other scenarios like Leticia's, when it happens, and it's your mind is giving you details you don't even realize that it's giving you. You can control what you say, but you can't control. Our brains are much faster than we are. So your brain answers before you could even consciously think of what the lie is. So now she's describing it. Not only does he have the same hair that I do, now his face shape, it's like mine, maybe a little fatter. Okay.
Like more rounded?
Was there anything about his face that like stands out that would help us be able to find him? Like that would we be able to be like, that's the guy right there? Like, did he have?
Well, I would notice there was like some bad saying, but like maybe like a little bit of is it craters or like the little holes. I don't say holes. Like you know how you can see some people and it's got like a little like holy like skin from the acne.
Like acne?
Yeah, like scars.
Okay, yeah, that's really good stuff.
Yeah,
so don't feel
like,
bad about telling.
So like acne, like scars were kind of like present just a little bit there.
Okay.
And not bad though, not like super bad, but it could have been like even more like wrinkles or like whatever. But it's just a little section of like right here, but you can tell it was just like from like age or whatever.
Okay.
Or maybe even from dryness. I don't know. I wasn't giving him a skin consultation, but I do remember there was
Look at that smile. Or maybe from dryness. I don't know, I wasn't giving him a skin consultation. This is a man who assaulted and raped you and took Gannon. But please carry on with all of your smirks and giggles.
Spots here.
Okay. Did he have any facial hair?
Yes. He had a mustache that went right here, like around in this area, and that was completely it.
Okay.
It went like this here. Like the...
Thank you. We know what a mustache
I'm trying to
is.
give you this because I don't know how to say the wording.
Okay, just the mustache.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said his hair was like jet black.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember could you tell approximately how long it was?
For his hair?
Like, was it long, short?
Yeah, I just told you that. I just said it wasn't long. It was, the belt like barely fit around it and like flat, like, like little flat pieces here.
Mm-hmm.
So, not bald, but not long. Nothing was hanging on on the shoulders or anything like that.
But it wasn't like a military cut or anything like that.
Yeah, no, not a military cut or anything else.
Okay, so kind of like medium length.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Look,
and
she knows what she's
how old
doing.
Do you think he was?
I would say easily late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
But and based upon me thinking that too about the facial structure. You know how you can look at some people's
Hey,
skin,
the
elasticity or whatever, and it's different. So like those little, you could tell that had been there for a while.
Okay.
Almost like it was like a
shit. For someone who has blacked out, who has Beats by Dre headphones on, you sure as hell got a close up look at his skin. As you say, his face craters, acne scars, Miss Ma'am. But you were up close and personal to know all these damn things. I've missed you, Elena. Thank you so much. You have been beyond generous tonight, but just your presence here alone, we have missed the hell out of you. And so thank you for coming. We love you. Good night. I'm going to go for a little bit longer before we pause. And so, but look at her. She is just no problem in the world, like with such great detail, going through what his fucking face craters look like. He had the face of the man on the moon.
Almost like you could just tell something had been. That's a very unique feature I just wanted you to have, because that wasn't something that, like, hey, did the person have lipstick? This was, on their face that's going to be permanent.
Sure. Do you remember seeing any tattoos or any other like?
No, I didn't remember seeing. I just remember the vest. I didn't see any tattoos. He had a shirt under the vest. Shirt or jacket.
Okay.
I mean, like, I say under the vest, but like, how you have the vest over and people wear the shirt? Yeah. That's like a Colorado thing, so that's kind of. Yeah.
What color was the jacket? Do you remember?
I just remember the red part, because remember I told you earlier, I was like, I think it's red, but I was talking about this top layer.
Yep. That the vest was red.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know if you remembered what color the shirt was that was underneath.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I remember his skin type. I remember how many acne scars he had, his mustache, the fucking bandana that she can't seem to figure out the word for bandana. But what color was his shirt? No, how do you expect me to recall such a thing?
Boots on.
Yeah, he had on like
He had on boots.
Rocky boots, or like the construction boots that everybody wears.
Do you remember what color they were?
Now she knows what fucking kind of boots he has on. But shirt? No way.
Yeah, they were that light pink, like a sand.
Okay.
I see.
And it
What's
had,
the
remember,
color
I
of
think it
the
had the belt
shirt?
thing. I don't
Nope.
know, everybody has a belt, but I just,
You said it was a tool belt?
yeah, it was like a strap thing that had a pocket.
So now even down to the belt. Oh yeah, it had 3 notches on the belt, and it had the side little thing where he kept this tool, that tool. What color shirt? Couldn't tell you though. Could not tell you.
Thing.
Okay.
And remember I told you that.
Sand, Emily.
I don't remember like a specific color. It was just, oh yeah, you know, you see somebody, you're like, oh, person in black shirt, person, whatever. I didn't.
Okay.
You know, I do, but the face did stick out, and I wish I was good at drawing, because I'd want you to to like notice that or whatever. And it was like more rounded, kind of like craters type things.
Sure. And then, so, and you went through the fact that, so you guys left there and you went to Petco?
Well, we already talked about, I don't know if I got gas beforehand or not, but I told you guys I would be more than willing to give you the information from an exact travel for the route. But we immediately left the Worsted Ranch area, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was, you had said you were going to leave him the cash on the bar. Did you go back and put that there?
Hey,
or were
Melanie.
you going to, or had you left that there whenever you left?
No, so we have, I always have everything that was in with all the notes and everything like that was in the drawer that sits on this side of the kitchen or whatever.
Okay.
I had cash put in there because I had gotten cash. I was playing the lottery. So I had gotten cash.
Again, with the abundant amount of details, she does not need to know. Where did you leave the cash? Well, I left the cash on this side of the junk drawer. And in the junk drawer, I kept lottery. Well, I had actually the $50 in there already from a lottery ticket that I had won. Abundant amount of information that was not necessary.
Cash back from the lottery, and I had already laid it out on the counter. My mindset was the reason I already laid it on the counter was not because I had it predetermined I was going to leave
Exactly,
it out
yes.
for this person. I already had it laid out on the counter because I was going to give that money to Harley, and so Harley has been paying on the dog because Chance, we finance him.
Okay.
Like I say finance him.
So you don't need to know this.
Him back, whatever. And we always give her a portion of Chance and a portion of her
The
car
junk
payment.
drawer. Everybody has a junk drawer, Roro. But listener, actually, that $50 was not in the junk drawer originally for this man. It was originally going to be for Harley because we have our pets finance. Do you know what pet finance means? Okay, let me bring you through that loop. But then I didn't end up giving it to Harley. Oh my God. What is necessary? How is this? And this is what crushes her. It's the abundant amount of information. Oh. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I say draw. I don't know how you probably say drawer, right? Junk draw. Yeah, the New York junk draw.
So I was going to give that back to her anyway.
Okay.
And so in that moment, I don't even remember when I came in that I checked to see that that the whole I left her $100, but I didn't check in the moment if that $100, like when I walked in, I didn't say, hey, there was only 20 there. And my mind wasn't thinking about, it was gone. So I thought, okay. But in my conversation with him, here's how much you want to do, donation, blah, blah, blah. So when I come in, I didn't think to go look to see if he left the remainder of the $100. Like that just wasn't in my mindset
it was already there on the counter whenever you had left.
Right, and that was just because when Harley got in, I was going to tell her that was usually like I Zilly her money or like whatever we pay.
You what?
Zilly.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, everyone else did Zilly, like so.
Even I know it's Zell. Okay. Zelly or what was that? I'm sorry, come again. What? Zelly. Everybody has Zelly. Zell. It's called Zell. It's not called Zelly. Letecia, Dr. T. Stauch. Zelly. Come on. That's almost as bad as Tiki One. Come on.
Kind of like Apple Pay or whatever. Okay. They usually like I daily her money or things like that. But Albert knows this. I haven't had my USAA credit card
I'm from
in
Long
such a while,
Island,
so I didn't have a way to to go get it or whatever. So I had lottery ticket money.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll just use the lottery ticket money that I'd been stashing to go buy new lottery tickets.
Okay. And do you remember, was that like when you put it out there, was it like 20s?
Yeah, so it's always 10s, and the reason it's always 10s is because I tell myself I'm not playing anything like above the.
Here we go again. Here we go again. I prefer Venmo. Hey, Shacto. They don't need to know why your bills are in the denominations that they're in. She just wants to know, how was their $50? Was it in 20s, a $50 bill? And Leticia's like, oh, it was all in 10s. And let me tell you why I choose all 10s, okay? No, they don't need to know why your denominations are in 10s.
Because I tell myself I'm not playing anything like above the 10 amount.
Okay.
And I go to the Safeway all the time and put it in that machine. But if you put more than $10 in that machine, they're going to keep it. And you have to.
Oh, okay.
You have to ask, like, I put a 20 in there. You got to spend 20 in lottery tickets.
Okay.
ATS is literally like 15 minutes away from me. We got to stream together. Well, and it was, I believe that she most likely took the Vyvanse, but it's not just that, you guys. Again, it's the lack of sleep. She had not slept. Adrenaline was rushing. If I don't know, if she has borderline personality, there are manic tendencies, and so everything, like, it's just go, 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 go. Oh, you don't have to apologize. Yeah. Well, New York City, the city has a different accent than Long Island. Upstate New York has a different accent than the other two. Everyone, New York is big.
So you had $10 or $100 and $10 bills on the counter when you left?
Yes.
Okay. So you weren't worried, you didn't have to go back to like put that back out for him before you went out?
Yeah, no, and I didn't intentionally like leave it out and say, whatever. In my mind when I left, because I didn't know, like, hey, what time. I didn't have a specific time. I knew I needed to be back before Lena, but usually Holly gets off at 3:15, so I was assuming she might meet me back home.
Okay.
But she worked. Remember I told you, like, they were having people having to take shifts and all that. So she ended up working till later in the day.
Sure. Okay.
This ain't how shacked out.
All right. So, and then you come home. Let's talk about what happens when you come home. Okay. And I know that that it can be difficult to talk about. So
thank you,
and I didn't want to talk about that part without. I'm one of those people that tries to like not think that mental health is always an issue or like things like that. And in my mind, I was afraid of the whole like, oh, it's causes mental health problems.
Please, you have the biggest smile on your face, Chris. You have the biggest smile on your face. But tell us more about your mental health problems. I don't know how you transitioned it into your mental health, but okay.
Like that type of thing. So,
sure.
Talking about it, I'm trying to like, don't think if I'm like emotions, I'm trying to be the blocker to think that I'm not going to let that be a stigma that I'm going to have mental health problems because of this. So that's.
No, and what I was going to say is because, I've been a special victims unit detective, and so I've had to investigate different types of assaults and sex assaults and stuff like that with adults and children. Right. And so I just kind of want to let you know, and this is, I would let anybody that I was going to have this conversation know that's what I've experienced with.
I want to do shit.
It can be a hard thing to talk about, and that I understand that. And that it can be kind of a sensitive subject, and like people don't always want to say specifics, but for us, like, to be able to document everything and to be able to really pursue it, we have to get into the specifics. And I just want to apologize up front for that because I know it can be uncomfortable.
Does she see him on?
Does that make sense?
Oh no. Oh no. So oh God, it is so bad. I'm sorry. I can't control my emotions only because look at how she goes from the creepy smile to this detective explaining, I know going through this. Did you see it, Harlot? I know going through this could be difficult and it could bring out all those emotions. And that creepy smile, it was like a trigger in her head, like, oh yeah, be sad. This is hard. And so she would and just turns her head down and oh yeah, this is difficult. Like just night and day.
Because I know it can be uncomfortable. Does that make sense?
Oh no. Oh, Tisha.
Are you okay?
Oh no. Oh. Detective, if you didn't say that to her, she would have continued to have been giggling and talking about face craters. But you reminded her this is supposed to be hard and emotional. And Tisha's like, oh shit, Zelly just morphs into the couch. But in reality, right now, she's thinking, shit. What am I going to say?
Do I have to talk about that? I don't want to I don't want to be dreaming in hope anymore. I'm sorry.
Do I have to talk about that? Do I have to give you details? I don't want to be dreaming. What? You don't want to be dreaming, ma'am? Doesn't even make sense.
You don't want what? Dreaming. I don't want to dream anymore about it. I gotta keep saying it. In my mind, I keep saying it. And I'm trying to block it. And I'm fighting a battle blocking out exactly everything, Sure. Well, so if you would just ask, I could say yes or no or something.
Wow. So she does much better when she is being led. Leticia, the same way that detective just cued to her, well, flat out said, but in her mind it was a cue. This is supposed to be hard. This is supposed to be emotional. And so she droops down. Yes, it is hard. It is emotional. So she says, I don't want to have to just tell you. I don't want to have to dream about this by replaying it in my head. So can you just ask me questions and I'll say yes or no? Because the same way that detective led with the description of him, does he have facial hair? How tall is he? Does he have this? Does he have that? It was easier for her to just say yes or no and to fill in the gaps. So she doesn't want to just come out and say it. She wants to just have this detective guess. And how many times did we hear Grusing say, you want me to guess, Leticia? And she's like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Yes, you want me to guess.
So if you would just ask, I could say yes or no or something. I just don't want to be really specific in terms of, are you talking about you're going to ask me questions about So what I'd like you to do is start by telling me what you remember hearing whenever you came in that day. And then, and as you walk me through it, I'll have to ask you some questions, okay? Yeah. Okay. So you, and correct me if I get anything wrong, okay? You had said earlier that whenever you came in, that you thought maybe that Gannon had come into the house first. I'm almost positive he went into the house first because I had to get the bags that we had purchased. Okay. The Petco bag. Sure. And you guys came in through the garage, correct? I want to say the garage. I'm 80% that it was the garage because we parked on the front with Albert's truck. Okay. So you come in through the garage. Gannon has already come inside. Mm-hmm. What's the first thing you remember seeing whenever you come inside? I usually always go in to think about
you know, hey, I need to let the dogs out. Hey, I need to do this.
No, that's not. And notice she turned off. I mean, she's morphing in this moment, but she turned off that emotion. She did not ask you, what do you usually need to do and think about when you come in? She asked you a very direct question. What was the first thing you saw when you walked in? And she can't answer it.
You know, hey, I need to let the dogs out. Hey, I need to do this. You know, like that is my mentality, is to go in to do that. And the alarm could tell if no, it won't, because I had put those things on there. See, that's where the hard part is, because I can't give you the exact time, because yeah, it might. Some of the sensors, remember I told you I had the things going on, and we had put the little towel things on them or whatever. Some of the sensors were picking up, but some of them weren't. So I can't give you the like an exact time. If I went in, I could tell you if I went in and went upstairs or went downstairs first by the motion. But the motion was all off because I had put
towels.
Right.
You
So,
hadn't pulled those down from the night before yet.
Yeah, like in my mind, that was not like
sure.
Some of them, like the one in the corner, like hangs off the side, so it might have picked it up or it might have not. So if it wasn't for that, I could tell you by that, did I go straight in and go straight to the basement? Because it would say like,
well, so
upstairs.
I want to. So with this kind of conversation, it's really all about what you remember and what your perspective is. Okay.
So I remember it was just basically being, like normal, because I'm excited. We got, new clothes for the pets, and we're coming in the door, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
The day's halfway through. I knew I had specific responsibilities to continue out the rest of the night. My brain hadn't said, hey, you need to go check or anything with the money yet, because I just wasn't on that, that direction yet.
Sure.
I was on the direction. I wanted to work out. I wanted to listen to my music. I wanted to relax. That was my mindset. So it wasn't to be like, okay, this here, this here, this. That type of thing. Sure. It should have been, because I gave someone the code to get into our house. But in my experience in Lorson Ranch, it's been that, most everyone has people. They give people their codes and let them come in to fix things, and you can do the Amazon packages and have them delivered inside the door. So I wasn't thinking, like I need to run in and check, make sure it's okay. If I felt that I was doing a harmful situation, that would have been my first off, I wouldn't have done it. But second off, I would have went in immediately and been like, did he fix what he's supposed to do? Did he think something from the home? That would have been my initial thing. So it was a normal, I want to listen to music, I want to work out. I don't know.
Please remember, she just asked what was the first, she just started this conversation. What was the first thing you saw when you walked in? We're still on that question.
I got something to drink. I don't, up and down dogs, that type of thing. That would have been my, mentality. But I didn't hear anything until I had my headphones on, and I thought, it's one of those things where you thought you heard something, because, the downstairs, if anybody makes any kind of noise, like a boing, it's it echoes really loud.
Oh, really?
It has a loud echo through the vent.
Okay.
So even sometimes, whether you're asking about noise counseling or not, even having things on or not, sometimes it's just the way that, they're sitting on there, you hear something, and that was almost like an echo noise.
Okay.
And that was, and below my room would be that storage room.
Okay.
So
you were in your room when you heard that?
So when I heard that, I don't remember if I was I know I had the headphones on.
Okay.
So I don't remember if I was in the room or walking back and forth, because I had a big speaker box over here, and then either I play the big speaker or play the headphones, or however on the big speaker box.
Oh my!
I don't know if I was here, there. Again, I wish I could give you the motion thing, because that would give you a better time, like a 254 or whatever.
See, she wants to give you the motion thing because she is not recalling from memory, and she wants to know what the motion said so she could build her story around the motions. But here's the craziest part. She had access to that. She sent those motion sensors out to people on Facebook. And she still didn't take the time to care enough and properly build a lie surrounding the information and evidence she had.
5 here, like that. But when I heard it, that's when I was just kind of like, oh, did I hear something? Remember, I even told you earlier, couple of times before I even thought that would be of a concern.
Sure. So when you thought you heard something, what happened next?
So I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 times or whatever that I kind of was like doing this here and like back and forth. And that's when I told you that I, started to walk down the stairs. And I told you that Gannon was on to the right of the area.
Okay.
Like when you walk down the stairs, he was on the right of the area.
Okay.
And the guy was over here.
Okay. And was the guy just out, or?
No, the noise was probably because of like moving around, I guess, or whatever.
Now she's even able to tell you what made that noise. This is how you could tell it's such a lie. If you heard a noise when you're upstairs coming from downstairs, you heard a noise. But it's interesting how Leticia's even able to explain where she thinks the noise came from.
And the door was like almost not necessarily like a semi-crack, but well, maybe a little semi-crack. I don't know if he was looking out, like peeking out or anything like that. And so I noticed that someone was right there. And that's when immediately it was just, there was no, it wasn't like, hey, how are you? It was, if someone's in your home, they're not there to, when they're not supposed to be doing whatever, they're not there just to like talk to you. It was immediate from then on. That it went to that, and Ganna came in, tried to get on.
So
blah, blah, blah.
let's slow all that part down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you go downstairs, you notice somebody's there. What's the next thing that happened?
So I noticed that he was there, and he had, I told you, when I went in my room earlier, one of the things that I remember triggered, not that triggered, but I thought was odd, but I had my shades, and I remember I told you my doors were open to the cabinet in the room.
Okay.
So I noticed that they were open, so that kind of, in my mind was like, open? But that also set off the fact of when your brain runs rapidly and you're looking, you're like, oh gosh, that's why that door was open.
Okay.
That,
so like you put it together.
Right. I put it together very, very quickly. And so that part ran back in my mind. And so immediately when he saw that, he saw me, I don't know if the intentions was to us to come in that soon. I don't know the intentions if it was to do anything, because I don't think the intentions was going to be to like take anything from us.
Interesting. She is able to now speak on what she believes the intentions were of Eduardo, the man who would ultimately assault and rape her and take Gannon. Listen to her speculate. I don't think his intentions were this. How the hell do you know?
Because it was he already had on gloves. He already had obtained a gun from our home. Like had already, done those things. And immediately it was in attack mode for me.
Okay.
And from there, I didn't mention to you, I did go in the cabinet because I take a lorazepam for anxiety, and I was like already super anxiety from like having all this, like going on and stuff with the like fire and stuff like that. So I took 2 lorazepams. So I did go in and take two lorazepams and blah, blah, yada, yada, yada.
And that was in the cabinet, the lorazepam, or was that somewhere else?
Like in the kitchen?
No, you said that you went in. So where was?
Oh, I'm sorry. Like in the kitchen, we have a kitchen cabinet. I should say that to you.
Okay.
The cabinet that.
Now, she's taking 2 lorazepams in the small period of time of when she is unloading the groceries, coming in, and when she heard the noise. Thank you, Shy, for gifting a membership. That's so kind of you. Congratulations to whoever just got that membership. Thank you so much. It has nothing to do. Please, again, what did you see? Like, this is such a basic question.
I'm talking about the doors is a bedroom cabinet. I say cabinet. It's like a armoire, like a smaller one that has doors that open. Okay. I should specify cabinet thing or something.
Right.
The bedroom one, the kitchen one would be where the
medication.
Right. So I did take. That's why I said I think I might have got something to drink or something, but I did take 2 lorazepams.
Okay.
And says that I did do that, and then I did come down with it.
Okay. So just so we're clear, the kitchen cabinet was where your medication was. Describe for me the armoire in the bedroom where the shades and your gun would
So you want to know like what's in it or like what?
What does it look like? What color is it?
Sorry, so it's silver, like almost like a chromish color with like glass.
Okay.
And it does have
You
handles.
too, Shy Shy. Thank
like,
you.
little
Good night.
knobs that you can pull on or what, like pull open. And then of course they have like I keep my important documents in there, like a passport or.
Does it have drawers or anything?
No drawers.
Okay.
It has the insert,
like shelf.
Yeah, the shelf.
Okay, perfect. And where does that sit in your bedroom?
If you walk in the room, like say I'm like opening the door, walking in the room, it's exactly right here.
Okay. And is it like, does it sit on something or does it have its own feet?
Like it's on feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're talking.
Yeah,
about
it has its own feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and like if I had to do like a
Yes, they did, Little Red.
samples or whatever, I just wanted to tell you about the medicine because I didn't want you to be like, oh. Well, I mean, it's prescribed to me anyway. So.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, and I had already taken one that morning too, so it was just.
So now 3 lorazepams in one day. She took a lorazepam in that morning, and she took 2 more. Why do you think she's saying that? Do you think it's true? Do you think she's trying to account for not remembering? Memory loss is a side effect of benzos. But did she or did she not take them?
I've taken my panic attacks, but I just had taken a lot. I don't say a lot of it. That sounds bad, but I'd taken. Yeah, I don't take any at all unless I'm having a panic attack. And I had.
So it was a little bit more than usual.
Right. Just because it was just, like.
Okay.
The whole anxiety of it. So.
Do you go downstairs and you see him and you said that
she might though in a little bit further into this interview because she claims she needs them. And they go and so they start discussing the medication and they go out very far out of their way to accommodate her to obtain it, but she keeps saying it's somewhere that they can't obtain it. I could not even take like the tiniest little chip, and I have a strong tolerance with things, but if I tried to take even like a little piece of a benzo, I will not remember the next 24 hours. I can never do that type of stuff. So I know not everybody is like that though, but it is a side effect of benzos. Well, at that point, Lil Red, she's saying the whole candle incident and everything, it was giving her so much anxiety. She needed to take 3 benzos, and it was only 2:30 in the afternoon in one day. That's a lot.
He had already been in the home, like in our home, like moving, like I say moving, like doing something, because you wouldn't have just walked in and known, hey, there's something here. You would have had to go in, and most people would probably look through drawers and things like that. I don't know. I'm not making that assumption that's what he did. I'm just saying he had already obtained one. By the time I can't speak for what, like what went on or
and I'm not asking you.
Okay.
What can you describe the gun for me?
So it was our black gun.
Black gun.
I don't know what
Please be
what
safe, Kelly.
Like what the brand was or whatever.
Okay. Was it? Do you know whether it was like a revolver or like a?
All right. I'll pause it there. It's hard to find a good transition spot, but we'll remember she starts to push back about the gun. So I'll pause it there and we'll pick up for the next time right here. So I'm going to circle back around really quick to Emily. This is Emily, guys. It's Emily Yvette Varela. She has been missing since October 16, 2023 out of Santan Valley, Arizona. She is 17 years old. She was last seen on October 16, 2023. If you or anyone you know has information on her whereabouts, please contact the Pinal County Sheriff's Office at the number located in blue. I'm going to hop off for tonight, but seriously, you guys were beyond amazing and generous. I can't even express my gratitude for how many people gifted memberships. That was very amazing, and congratulations to anybody who received a membership and anybody who super chatted. Thank you so much. I look forward to getting more into the interview with you guys. It's bizarre. I never cease to be amazed by Leticia's lies and the way her brain works. I really think she needs to be studied. I would love for her to be studied. I don't know. I guess we would have to wait for her to pass for them to actually study her brain, but I think it would be good for them to study while she's alive and then post-mortem. If we could get a petition to study Leticia's brain, I think we should do it. I know it, Bellies, but I have to be up in a couple of hours, so I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me, and I will see you guys shortly.
For the interviews, because I don't have any fancy clothes.
You go to my closet, you take whatever you need. You too, Brennan. You guys got to look sharp. It's the most important day of our lives, okay?
Hey, Dad.
What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Fit top, rollie, boy, we know you phony. Take her to the mall and buy her what she want it. Already smashed, so I'ma let the homie. RP my cash and RP a Kobe. If you're born in September, then you know you're my type. If I see you on Tinder, then I gotta swipe right. If you're born in October, then you're just like me. Here's a resume, can you fill this out, please? What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll.